Hello, and welcome to the Sisters of the Shire podcast. I'm Abby.
And I'm Ashley.
Our podcast is all about talking about our love of Tolkien's stories and maybe introducing or helping you through some that you might have missed.
This season, we are covering the Unfinished Tales, Tolkien's extended version / alternate universe / deleted scenes of a lot of the stories from the Silmarillion, plus some bonus content that didn't quite work with the Silmarillion narrative flow.
So, whether you've read every book cover to cover, or you're just here because you are curious about Tolkien's other works or had a hard time reading them, all are welcome.
Now let's dive into the Unfinished Tales.
Woo,
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, man. Are you swimming in this weather right now? It is
A little
dumping
bit.
rain. The Pacific Northwest, especially Oregon and Washington, a little bit more in Washington, has had a really, really, really heavy rainfall this last few weeks, or like last week, pretty much. And there's been a lot of flooding, like devastating flooding, which has been really sad. It's been happening more near where my dad lives than more where Ashley lives, but
Yeah.
it's like crazy amount of rainfall. And then we were pretty bad. We had a lot of flood warnings where we were, and like my poor kid's school kind of like let's just say like all of the sidewalks around the school are like higher than the actual like doorways into the school, kind of, so the school kind of like is in like farther down in the ground than like the sidewalks, so
Mm-hmm.
there's like a lot of water around my kid's school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then my bummer one, I mean, I am so I feel I am heartbroken for all those families that have had devastating floods in Washington and Oregon, because it's been pretty bad. My heart goes out to you all. It's pretty awful. And we hope that you're doing okay. And we hope that you are finding the resources you need to get back on your feet, because it's been really, really awful. Thankfully, our family's been okay. We haven't had anything trouble. We had an awful rainstorm last night, though, so it got even worse. But the one bummer that I had, which is in no way anywhere near the devastating loss that they have, is that all of my car's tail lights got filled with water, and so they don't work anymore. So I really hope I don't get pulled over.
You were going through that much water? Or it just
Yeah,
was
dude.
raining that hard?
It's raining that hard.
Jeez, man.
Oh, yeah. So, like, if you look at my taillights, they're like completely full of water. I have an older car. I don't feel like the seal is pretty good anymore, you know?
Sure, sure.
Um,
Interesting.
so anyway, how are you?
Anyway, I'm good. I actually I'm looking at some blue sky at the moment, but it's been rather, what is the Winnie the Pooh term? A rather blustery day.
Happy Wednesday.
Yes. Like my lights have been flickering all morning. Like, uh-huh.
Oh, cool, cool,
Uh-huh.
cool. So if we suddenly cut out,
Yeah. That that's what it's, so it's happening. Yeah. Um yeah, our city is not quite big enough to like have like ready like electricians like just on standby. But this is the Pacific Northwest, and there's a lot of trees and a lot of what's the word, above ground utilities. My husband used to work in underground utilities and like drilling underground utilities, and he's like, "Well, I still don't understand why we all haven't moved underground." And I'm like, "Okay, you mole."
I was just like, Mole Man.
Yeah.
What's the Underminer?
Yes. But at the same time, when the power goes out, I'm like, you may have a point. Like,
I see your point. Actually, I can't see
yeah.
anything. It is dark in here.
Yes, indeed.
Well,
Uh,
speaking of water,
yes,
should we
and
jump right in?
I'm very sorry about last week's episode being a week late. I, with work and Christmas and family and all the things, I did my best, but the editing process literally did not finish until like last night, and that was like a week from when we recorded. Um,
I know Ashley sounded like she was a mermaid or something. She was like underwater.
I know, and I don't understand it because I was right here next to my microphone. I don't understand.
It
But,
was clearly not underwater. I can see her right now, guys. She's not underwater.
I know. So I apologize for the delay. I appreciate you guys being patient and knowing that we are doing our best, but we also have jobs and our moms and all those things.
And it's a
Thank
very
you for
busy
patience.
holiday season.
I know.
They always cram everything in this month, which I'm like, my
Mhm,
schedule, it's so
mhm.
full, bursting at the
Yes.
seams.
Yeah, I was very grateful for, I haven't looked at the other spirit days yet, but they always make the last week of school before the holiday a spirit week. Luckily, today's was pretty easy. It was like snowman day. So I was like, wear a white shirt, a beanie, and a scarf. I'm like, done. Like, so simple.
Ours
Thank
was
you
just
so
wear a
much.
winter hat day today for their
I
spirit
mean,
week.
I like setting the bar low though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyways, back to how much do you remember of last episode?
Oh,
You met a
okay.
new
So
character.
I remember, I'm really awful with names, even in real life. So having fantasy character names, n- uh, probably not gonna stick in the brain. But I remember that there was a king of Númenor who had a son who was more of a scholar than a fighter,
Mhm.
and he grew up and married this lady who was kind of like a nobility kind of. She wasn't really like a king or princess or anything like that. She was just kind of like a nobility in Numenor, like a higher up name
Her
person.
dad was the captain of the Sea Guard,
That's right.
basically.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which is still a high rank. It's still pretty
Yeah,
important.
totally.
And then they grew up and then they had got married and they had two kids, right? Two kids?
Mhm.
One kid. Two kids. Uh
Now I'm doubting
and
myself. Is it 3?
and no, wait, they had a girl that didn't matter. That didn't get
Well, see, the
any
problem
story.
is that you're mixing Menildor, that's the dad, his he had 2 sisters. One was Silmarayan, who was his older sister. He had 2 older sisters, sorry. And she married the kind of, uh, lesser nobility of, Andunier, and so their ancestor became the first lord of Andunier. And then
Which then
the other sister was
became Aragorn's family.
Elendil,
Okay.
Aragorn, yeah. And then, yeah, then we have a sister we don't care about apparently. Um, and then, yeah, we have Meneldur and his wife, Almerion. Then their son is our main character, Aldarion. And I think
Okay.
he just has a sister, but I could be wrong. No, I'm like doubting myself.
Anyway, so
Anyway.
the dad, the older dad wants his son to like learn how to be a king someday, basically. Like he just became king himself, the dad did, because they live
Mhm.
long lives and so it took him a while to actually become king. But then he was
Mhm.
saying, I want my son to be trained up to be take over for me someday. But the son and his grandpa, the father-in-law of the king,
Mhm.
um are more adventurous and they wanted to go to Middle Earth. And Grandpa was like, I want to take you to Middle Earth, but you got to make sure your dad says it's okay. And then the son finally got to go to Middle Earth with Grandpa, and they were gone for a lot longer than they said they'd be.
Mhm.
And then they came back, and he's like, that was awesome. He's like, okay, well, you have to like stay around and like do your king future king duties and you
Mhm.
know and he goes, nah, I like sailing and being in Middle Earth way more. And he got like super obsessed with it. I would say like
Mhm.
a little overly obsessed, where he like didn't he live on the water or something like that. Like he didn't even want to
Yep.
live on land. He like hated
Mhm.
land so much that he's like, you know what, I'm not even gonna live here, I'm not even gonna step foot on this place. But he basically kept going back to Middle Earth so much that like he was just kind of like, you know what, I don't want to, kind of the trope of I don't want to be king. I want
He
to
just can wait to be king.
yeah. And so he um his dad, the king, now king, becomes kind of grumpy towards
Yeah.
him, like kind of
What was
like
it? Like,
silent
quiet
treatment.
unease or something? It was,
Yeah.
like, the way that they put it.
Silent treatment.
Yeah.
Um and he I don't remember where we ended on that, but he
That's basically where we ended, is that
yeah, so
Menelor is
this
just, like, angry,
yeah, and it's
disappointed.
uh oh, what's the kid's name? What's the kid's name?
Aldarion.
Aldarion is kind of like, it's not a phase, Dad. I love the sea. I want to be out on the ocean. And he
Yeah.
built ships. Oh, he learned how to build ships from
Mhm.
Círdan the elf, which he
Mhm.
was that's pretty awesome. And then he got to
Mhm.
hang out with Gil-galad and stuff, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So he got, I mean,
Uh,
he had a cool time in Middle Earth. I understand why he kept wanting to go back, but
right.
yeah.
But, like, spending years there? Like, I understand, like, a holiday, but years? Um, and the one thing you left out, you did amazing. And by the way, Eldarion does have 2 sisters, so,
I was right.
you were right. Yeah, good job.
There were
But
sisters
yeah,
that
we have
they
heard.
don't care about.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, you forgot that he built a club. He made a club. He had the Guild of Venturers.
Yeah, and they had cool jackets.
Yeah. So, you did a very good job. Nicely
Thank
done.
you.
It's like you pay
Thank you.
attention, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, so I sometimes, listen to the parts I have read just to kind of, like, really cement it in my brain, and also I like to hear the guy pronounce, names sometimes just for, um, my own American accent's sake. And by the way, remember Toronto?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Ugh, awful
so
name.
the way
Anyway.
he said it, and let me see if I can do it justice, it was like, Soronto, like,
Mm.
Toronto. Sounds a little better than Toronto, but
Toronto.
yeah. Also, I want to quickly revisit a footnote that I did miss on our last episode. Sorry, I'm only human. Those footnote little numbers are tiny. Um, so when Viantor offered to take his grandson Aldarion to Middle Earth, we talked about how Viantor was the first Númenórean to sail back to Middle Earth, right?
Huh. Uh-huh.
Now, the footnote here mentions what it was like for that meeting on the side of the elves, because it was not
Oh,
long after the War of Wrath, when Beleriand was completely transformed, that the men who were loyal to the Eldar slash the Valar, that would be known as the Edain, were gifted the island of Númenor, and they sailed to it around the year 32 of the Second Age. Now,
okay.
the Númenóreans lived on Númenor for quite some time, 600 years, in fact, before Viantor sailed back to Middle-earth. And they were welcomed, of course, by the gracious Gil-galad. Of course, he's like, of of course you can come here. Get in here for a big hug, mister. Um,
I'm sorry if I mispronounced Gil-galad before. Did I say Gil-galad? I'm sorry. It's Gil-galad.
I, I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think he wouldn't be offended either way. He's so nice.
He is. I'm sorry.
By the way, I want more of that singing next season. More. I need
Yes.
more singing. Anyways, so when the Edain disappeared to Númenor during that 600-year period, it left what once was Beleriand, now Middle Earth. It left them with an interesting reaction to their arrival because they're like, "Where have you? Who are you? Where did you come from?" Um, Now, remember when Eru Ilúvatar first created men? He kind of plopped them in Beleriand to the east of the Blue Mountains or Ered Luin. They were just kind of way over there. So now with the
You go over there.
lands, yeah,
That's yours.
that's over you there. So now with all the landscape change from the War of Wrath, those Blue Mountains are a lot closer to the water than they used to be, as were the men who never crossed the mountains and weren't involved in the War of Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
So to these men, the War of Wrath was like something happened over there. We don't know what, but it sounded bad. So we just stayed over here and mind our own business.
We had Carl
And
check it out, but he never came back, so we're just gonna leave it be.
so all those men that had gone across the mountains that, they knew that people went over there, like Carl, let's say, um, uh, that had fought in the War of Wrath, they thought they had been, quote, destroyed or drowned in great tumults of fire and inrushing seas. But since it was still said among them that those men had in years beyond memory been kinsmen of their own, they sent message to Gil-galad asking leave to meet the shipmen who had returned from death in the deeps of the sea.
Oh. Well,
They were like, you met her, my long lost cousin. Can we meet him, Gil-galad? Please, oh please. I want to see if he has my eyes.
yeah.
So when they do decide to meet, the men of Eriador, as these men that stayed in Middle Earth would be called, they were a little nervous to meet these Númenóreans. Only 12 men showed up to the meeting,
uh,
the best they could come up with.
yeah.
And, quote, people feared that the newcomers, the Númenóreans, were perilous spirits of the dead. But when they looked on the shipmen, fear left them, though for a while they stood silent in awe. The shipmen resembled rather elvish lords than mortal men in bearing and apparel.
Huh. They
So
had fancy armor.
they had fancy armor. They looked fancy. Their hair was all done. The elves hooked them up with the right conditioner and the right beauty regimen. And these elves are like in mud, basically. That's all I imagine.
Do you think
But go
okay,
ahead.
I'm sorry. Like, do you think that they were, like, going to fight them? Like, they were, like, ready to, like, fight them? Because they thought they were
I'm not
ghosts,
sure
right?
if
Or
it was a
whatever.
fight or a curiosity or a like these men can't be the same men. Like these have to maybe like an apprehensive, like maybe these are evil men. I don't know. But I don't think it
Okay.
was like to fight with only 12 men.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you go check it out and if you come back then I guess they're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are cool. They're good.
Yeah.
They're with me.
And and that's actually very much the vibe. Like they couldn't be more different, but they could still tell that they were kin and they were very happy to see each other. Um,
Oh.
the Númenóreans, in fact, had thought that any men left behind on Middle Earth were could only have been the descendants of the evil men from the east that Morgoth had brought to his side. So they're like, "Wait, you're not what the bad men? Oh, Okay, we can be
They're
friends.
both they're both scared of each other, like, the little Númenóreans
Exactly.
are, like, hiding behind the side of their ship, and they're just, like,
Yes.
peeking their eyes over like, "Hey, are you guys mean? Hey, are you guys cool? Can we come out?"
It's like, that moment from, Avengers, like, "Whom do you serve? Like, who's your master?"
Yeah. I just watched that with the kids. Why is Gamora? Um, yeah, that's what reminded me of, it's, what is it called?
Like a face off.
No, not a face off, yeah, it is a face off, but, the g oh my gosh, this is gonna bug me. Keep going, it's gonna bug me, I can't remember of what I was thinking of. I'll figure it out, and then I'll blurt it out in the middle of something else.
Totally fine. That's what we do here. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. Just that I this kind of, perspective change of the meeting of the men and the Númenóreans and the elves. Um, and what one more thing I wanna note is that these men of Eriador, very different from the Númenóreans in that they, quote, "feared the sea and would not look upon it." So, a little different.
Little
Like,
different.
yeah, like, we have a guy who is obsessed with the sea. Like, I don't know how they found common ground, but they found common ground. So,
Okay, I remembered what I was thinking. You know, in
okay.
movies when, they're hiding both hide it's like a shootout, and they're both hiding
Mhm.
behind 2 different, rocks or something, and they're like, "Okay, you put your gun down if I put my gun down." And then it's like, "Okay, well, you kick your gun over there, and I'll kick my gun over there, and we'll do it at the same time on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2." That's how it went in my brain. They were,
Yes.
just showing their hands, and they're like, "Okay, everybody be cool. We're gonna just walk out."
And then, for some reason, Gil Gallad's still there for me, and he's just, like, watching all of this, like, kinda giggling, like,
Yeah.
I wonder who's gonna kill each other first, and they're taking bets on the side.
He has, popcorn. He's like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, I haven't had this much entertainment for a long time."
So, anyways, sorry for the segue, but I just thought that part was kind of cool and worth mentioning.
Mhm.
Um, are you ready to get back to our stubborn Aldarion now? Because, man, this kid could give freaking Turin a run for his money.
Uh-oh.
I know. So, Aldarion and his dad, as we ended last episode, he's the king of Númenor, but they aren't really getting along, mainly due to the fact that Aldarion can't keep away from the ocean and even formed a little club encouraging others to do so. Meanwhile, his dad was like, "Why can't you just stay home and learn to be next in line for the throne? That's all I'm asking." And yeah, so eventually the
I
two
just
just stopped
want to
talking to
be on
each
the
other.
sea.
Yeah.
It's
I feel
giving
like
it
this is
we've mentioned this many times in this story. Not this specific story, but in the world of the Silmarillion is the scene in Monty Python. It's like, "No, father, I just want to dance and sing." It's like,
singing.
"No, no, there
No
won't be
singing,
any
stop that, stop
singing."
that.
Yeah, this there's many instances in this story where there's a lot of children of noble people that are like, "I don't want to do that, father. I want to go and be free and do my own things, sail on the sea, have the wind, have the sea air flowing through my hair."
It also is reminding me of Goofy Movie for some reason, just like the father and son not seeing it eye to
Oh,
eye, if you
oh,
will.
oh, dude, being
But
a
I did it.
parent, the Goofy Movie hits hard in a different way, and it's real hard for my heart. He just wants to, what does he say? "I know you want your own life. I just want to be a
Wanted
part
to
of
be a
it."
part of it.
Gah,
Uh-huh.
gah. I hope.
Mhm. So, instead of seeing it eye to eye, Goofy and Menelzor and Aldarion just stopped talking to each other.
He just
Um
wanted to go to a Powerline concert. That's all he wanted to do.
Well, Aldarion has something that Max didn't have, and that is a mother. R.I.P.
Oh.
Goofy's mom, or Max's
Oh.
mom, wherever she is.
Oh, had to bring her into this. Oh.
Because Aldarion's mother, the queen, maybe she was more understanding of a sailor's heart, from her father Vientor, but she fully supported Aldarion in all that he did.
It's
And
giving I'm sorry, we just were watching Moana, where Moana
oh,
wanted to go
yeah.
sail away, and her mother supported her and let her
Mhm.
go when the dad was like, "No, you have to stay and become a a
Queen,
queen."
but
Oh
she
my gosh, he's Moana.
no animal sidekick, and this kid is
Oh,
stubborn punk.
darn.
Um, I know. I still like the analogy though. Mainly because I wanna see, the ocean talking to Aldarion. Anyways, uh, so the queen was fully in support, and Meneldur is like, "Fine." Like, he probably wanted to stop her, like, "No, you are not allowed to be on his side." He's just like, "Fine, whatever." So, that's kinda how the family is supporting Aldarion in that aspect. The Guild of Venturers only grew with time and even started earning the respect of other men in Numenor, who would call them the Unendili, or lovers of Unen, which I freaking love.
Is it like a diss or is it just
No,
like
I think it's
a
literally like, and not a diss. Like I
fan
mean, all of
club?
Numenor, yes, all of Numenor loved Unen, but the freaking sailors like worshipped, reverenced her. So I don't think it's necessarily a diss, more just truth. Like,
More like they are her most
yes.
stout followers
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
her.
I like it. So, with the growth of the Venturers came the growth of their ships and the longer their voyages, leaving Aldarion once again far from home and his princely duties. Meneldur,
Okay.
bless his heart, tries every way to try and like make his son stay home without making his son stay home. So he decrees that no longer are trees allowed to be cut down on Numenor for shipbuilding.
That's a big
But
blow.
it is a big blow, but I mean, it's ended up being such an empty threat because Aldarion's like, "Well, you know where there are plenty of trees, Dad? Middle Earth. I'll just go cut down those trees
See ya.
instead." Like, I can see Meneldur be like, "Dang the boy."
No, a loophole.
Yeah. And, I'm sure he went there just to kinda pout anyway. So, he was there a while this time, and during that
See, I
time,
said I
he
can't cut
established
down any more trees. In it. I go.
He's
Well,
like,
I'll
"You know what?
show
I don't
you
need
that.
Numenor." Yeah. "I don't need Numenor. I'm gonna make my own settlement." And he
Oh,
makes the first Númenórean settlement in Middle-earth named Vignalande, which is New Haven. And don't you think for a second I thought of freaking Gilmore Girls.
that's what I was gonna say. New
Yeah.
Haven?
So, just a reminder of the timeline we are
And
working
I'll
with
be
Aldarion here.
there. And on the next train where you lead, I will follow. Oh, anywhere that you tell me to. Come on.
Except
It's just a
Aldarion won't. He's maybe to the sea, but not his dad.
well, maybe it's grandpa and him
There
song.
you go. Okay, so Aldarion was born in the year 700. His first
Okay.
voyage to Middle-earth was in 725. Meneldur, his father, was crowned king of Numenor in 740, and Eldarion formed the Guild of Adventurers around 750. So now we are somewhere between 750 until just before 800 when Vignalande was founded. because
Mhm.
here we are in the year 800, and Menador tries again to get his son in line by naming him as the official heir to the throne, as it was tradition to do so, apparently at the age of 100. Then apparently that's the only rule.
There's a big ceremony, probably.
Yep. So Menador commands Aldarion this time. You have to stay in Numenor and to cease for a time his eastward voyaging. It's funny, he like gave him an out there, like might as well just say no more. But he's like, just for a little bit. Just try.
Trying to meet him in a healthy space of like, I didn't say never. I didn't say
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
said just maybe for a little bit, we're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah.
He's
And
practicing healthy parenting.
healthy boundaries. Yeah. So the thing is knowing Aldarion, I am shocked that this actually worked because they actually make up and they reconcile and they have a heart to heart moment and they see things eye to eye. And, quote, for that time, there was peace between them.
Aww,
Yeah, yeah, they did it.
they did it.
So, not only as Aldarion named as the official heir to the throne, but Meneldor, he's just trying so hard for his boy. In a gesture of love, he also gives Aldarion the title of Lord of the Ships and Havens of Númenor.
Aww.
It's like an olive branch. It's so cute.
Yeah, he's like, I know how much you love those little boats, so I'm
Mhm,
gonna do this
mhm.
for you.
So, like you said, there's a great ceremony and there's a great feast in Armenelos for all this. And wouldn't you know it, there is one guest in particular who will become very important to our story.
Okay.
Are you ready for her name?
Okay.
Erendis, which in Quenya could mean lonely bride or wife, which I hate, or in Sindarin could mean king's bride, which sounds a little better, but also.
Names their baby that.
So that's my question, is that this had to have been given to her after the story, right? So I wonder what her actual name was. It's kind of like the given the name of the kings after the fact. Like, actually, we
Yeah,
call that
yeah.
guy
Like,
devoted to
because
the
of
heavens
things he
because.
did. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm really
See,
curious what
her
her would.
mom, freshly given birth, looks down at her baby and says, "You know what you look like? A lonely wife."
Lonely bride. Yeah.
What a beautiful name. Oh,
Why do some of these women in freaking Tolkien have the saddest names? What was that? Mourning. Uh,
yeah.
what was the other one?
There's like
Well,
lonely something. They're not lonely,
yeah.
like doesn't like people or something like that. Like has
But
to live
then
in the forest alone girl or something like
but
you
then,
know
like,
those.
sometimes they try, like, and I mean, Tolkien does his best, okay? But there's some of the women, like, mortal women that are given, like, strong heart, man heart, like, this just doesn't, like, have that grace and beauty to it than, like,
No.
bubbling stream or silver from the moon or anything fun like that.
Yeah.
Those garbage
Yeah.
women.
Looks like their father girl.
So,
Yeah.
I'm sure
Sad
you're
it's
wondering.
sad eyes
Sad
lady.
eye. Yeah. So, were you wondering who Erendis was? Because I was. I was like, "Who be this Erendis? Who be her family tree? Who is she heir to or, uh, daughter of?" And so forth and
Or
so on,
grandma of or something.
right? So, this hurt my brain for a good 10
Cool.
minutes. I could I could be totally wrong. Just give me a bone that I'm trying, okay? But according to my analysis of all the family trees,
Okay.
here's what I think I figured out. So, Arendis's dad is named Bregar, unknown
Okay.
meaning. His mom was Beleth. Now,
Okay.
Beleth is important because she had two brothers, Berigund and Beligund, who should sound a little familiar, but I know you're bad with names, because Berigund's daughter was a girl by the name of Morwen.
Morning Morwin, that's what I call her.
No, Morwen was the one that was like elf, like looks like an elf. Woman so
No,
pretty, she looks like an elf. And
Morning Morwin, right? Isn't she like
mm, she's
sad?
sad, but it's her daughter, Nienor, that is literally means morning.
I know that. I'm just
Oh,
nicknaming
okay.
her
Okay, I
Morning
just wanted to
Morwin.
clarify. I'm sorry.
Because she like a
Um,
ghost? People thought she was like a witch that was like
yes. She was
around the
very
town, you know?
stern of face, yes. So that obviously is the mother of Turin, who we just talked about for, like, the last 20 episodes. Um, so the other brother, Beligund, his daughter was Rianne, whose son was Tuor. So, if my calculations are correct,
These are my calculations.
yes, Turin and Tor were cousins, and possibly that makes Erendis second cousins or cousins,
Family
something along.
somehow. I don't
Yeah,
get the like once removed, whatever.
yeah, but somehow related. So while she had cool ancestors, she has no direct relatives to the royal line of Elros. Remember, Elros was the first king of Númenor. He chose the path of mortality, while his twin brother Elrond, your man, chose the path of immortality with the Eldar. So that means her ancestry is mainly from the House of Behor. I mean,
Okay.
if you remember, the House of Beor has very specific physical characteristics or attributes. Do you remember what they are?
I know one family has blonde hair and one family has black hair. That's all I remember.
This is the black-haired one, yeah.
Okay.
So, they describe Erendis as, quote, "dark-haired and of slender grace, with the clear gray eyes of her kin."
I know you're saying
So,
horrendous, but I'm hearing horrendous like just in my brain.
not sure
Horrendous.
how else any
Roll your R.
okay, I'm sorry,
Horrendous.
horrendous.
Hey, that could have been an elf
So,
name. Who knows? You
maybe
don't hear a lot of. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Haldeal is an H
yeah.
elf name because I was like, I don't hear a lot of H elf names, but I caught myself.
It happens, but yeah, it's not as frequently as you would think. All those Fs, man, that took the priority.
An E as well.
Yes, and E, yeah. So, um, the queen, Almerion, was the only one who happened to notice her at this feast, to, quote, "observe her beauty of a kind seldom seen in Númenor." So, she's pretty, and she stands out, basically.
Ah,
However, Aldarion didn't seem to notice her. Maybe he was busy, maybe he was, with his club friends or whatever. Maybe he was actually bonding with his dad. I mean, one would hope.
oh,
But when Eldarion left the feast, Erendis saw him as he rode by. Quote, "and for his beauty and splendor of bearing, she had eyes for little else."
ooh.
Yes. So, what does a smitten girl do, Abby? What does she do? How does she find this love again?
I don't know. Does she do the whole like in Pride and Prejudice where she like drops her handkerchief in front of him, like, oops, I dropped this. And he doesn't even notice.
I mean, I feel like that probably happened as he rode by, right? Um, she tried that move and it didn't work. So what she
Wow.
does next Ishi gets in with the parents, which is a very smart move.
True.
Um, she enters the queen's household and even manages to get in good with the king. But unfortunately, while she's there hoping to run into Aldarion, he doesn't show up. He doesn't see they don't see him like the whole time she's there.
Oh,
'Cause where is he at,
that's kind of
you
sad.
wonder? I know. He is off tending to the forest because it is his duty as new Lord of the Ships and Havens of Númenor to make sure that the forest of Númenor are plentiful and never, Númenor will never lack for timber as long as he is, the Lord of the Ships and Havens.
The Lord of the Forest. Sorry, we just
Yeah.
watched Bambi, so that's what it reminds me of.
Oh, yes. Little Prince. Um, but while he has been a good son and he stayed on Numenor for a while, the boys in the Venturers Club are starting to get a little restless, as well as Aldarion, of course. So, after 6 years as being, the official heir to the throne and mining those forests, asks his dad for permission to go to Middle Earth again.
Oh
Now,
no, he's testing his boundaries.
uh huh, uh huh. So, Daddy Mendeldor gives his permission begrudgingly because, of course, he would much rather have Aldarion stick around, especially if a wife, happens to fall into his lap. We wouldn't be, sad about that. Um,
True.
and wouldn't you know it, when Aldarion's mother, the queen, bids Aldarion goodbye, there just so happens to be a pretty girl amongst his mother's ladies. Quote, he saw Erendis amid the queen's company, and looking on her beauty, he divined the strength that lay concealed in her.
Oh,
That
I don't know if like if Colt ever looked at me and was like, "I see the strength in you."
that's exactly my reaction was. They're like, oh, like
I mean, it's cool. I would want to be mentioned that way. That is a
sure,
cool
yeah,
attribute. But
yeah.
how does one convey that to the world?
She's got good bones,
What
I can
yeah.
tell.
She's got damn good bones.
But nicely done, Horrendous. Way to be like ready in the right spot at the right time, in the right place. Like, just get it, girl. Like, all her hard work paid off right there. Um, but I love this so much because it's such a Mrs. Bennett thing to do. So she says to her son, knowing that Arendis is right there, she says, quote, must you depart again, Aldarion, my son? Is there nothing that will hold you in the fairest of all mortal lands?
She's like wiggling her eyebrows, like over to Arenda's, like,
I could
over
also
there,
see her like
maybe.
shoving her forward.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. And I Aldarion, this is where you lost me. I mean, you lost me a few times, but this is when I'm no longer on your team. He says, quote, not yet, but there are fairer things in our Menelaus than a man could find elsewhere, even in the lands of the Eldar. But mariners are men of two minds, at war with themselves, and the desire of the sea still holds me. So,
But
like,
my
she's
life,
pretty,
my love, my
but
lady is the sea. Bam, 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 bam,
so
bam.
applicable.
That's literally
Brandy,
his song.
Erendis, you're a fine girl.
A
What
good
a good
wife
wife
you would
you would
be.
be. Yeah.
But my life, my love, and my lady is the sea.
I mean, it really is. Um, and like poor Erendis here, like she actually did feel like he was talking just to her, not just his mother in saying this. But instead of feeling shot down or rebuffed, like I probably would have, instead, quote, from that time forth, her heart was turned wholly to Aldarion, though not in hope. Like,
So
and that did it for me. He's the one.
he rejected
Yes,
me. I love him.
I know. Like, have some self-respect for yourself, girl. Like, does he
Oh,
think that does she think that he's just playing hard to get or that she can change his mind? But at the same time, she seems more the humble type. So it's not like, "Oh, well, I'll get him to, like I'll be the best thing I can't think of the right
True.
word.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like elf ladies or ladies back then in this book kind of just were desperate of any love and attention. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what's sad is that her hope, because she literally says, "Though not in hope." Her hope isn't because Aldarion loved the sea more than he could love a woman. She actually thought Aldarion was too good for her, like, in status, which is so freaking
No, that's
sad.
kind of sad.
Because there weren't any laws or anything saying that Aldarion, like, had to marry within the royal line of Elros. Like, he could have married her, it's not like it was unheard of, but she still felt like she wasn't good enough.
Girl,
I know.
come on.
Quote, "Yet she looked on no man with favor thereafter, and every suitor she dismissed."
Poor girl.
Yeah. So, even after seeing this beautiful girl with her concealed strength, how long do you think he was gone on his voyage this time?
Only 3 years.
7. 7 years he
Oh,
is gone. And he brings back ore of silver and gold and lots of stories for his dad. And his dad's like, "I'm good. I'd rather not hear all that stuff because, quote, rather would I have had you beside me than any news or gifts from the dark lands." Interesting word for Middle Earth. This is the part of merchants and explorers, not the king's heir. What need have we of more silver and gold, unless to use in pride, where other things would serve as well? The need of the king's house is for a man who knows and loves his land and people which he will rule.
true. I mean, he's got a point.
He's got a point, and this really ties back into the part in description of the island of Númenor, um, because if you remember, silver, gold, and other precious metals weren't found on Númenor, like, naturally. And I think the Valar did that for a reason to not, increase pride or, greediness, for the
Yeah.
people. And it really seems like Meneldur understands that and respects it. But so Aldarion, like, showing up with this stuff, he's like, "You just don't get it, but do you, buddy?" Like,
Yeah. We have no use for these things.
yeah. So it's just like further evidence of how much Aldarion doesn't seem to understand or respect Numenor's traditions and like the I don't know, the not symbology, the substance it was built on. So, somehow Aldarion thinks captaining a ship is the same as ruling a people. As he says, quote, "Do I not study men all my days? I can lead and govern them as I will." It's not quite the same thing.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. And Meneldur is happy to point out the difference as he says, quote, "Say rather some men of like mind with yourself. There are also women in Numenor, scarce fewer than men, and save your mother, whom indeed you can lead as you will. What do you know of them? Yet one day you must take a wife." Yeah.
um, side note, we just watched Cinderella, and in the beginning, the dad is like, "You must find a wife," like, I need you, want you to marry and become king," and he's like, "I'm getting old. I just want to see my grandchildren before I
I
go."
literally have that in the outline, Abby.
But but to me, like, because I was just hearing it because they were playing it in the car, so I'm not watching it, but I'm just hearing it. I'm like, "Oh, he just wants grandkids."
He
That's all he
really
wants to
does.
do is he wants to be a fun grandpa.
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, my own son didn't like me. Maybe my grandchildren will."
Yeah.
My son liked his grandpa more. Maybe my grandson would like me more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. This is an interesting thought, though, that, you know, Aldarion can rule men on a ship, but probably wouldn't do so good with that same, ruling method as to other men. And this is kind of displayed in the Rings of Power show, in my opinion, because if you take, for example, like Elendil, seafaring commander of the Sea Guard and soldiers, but then you asked him to command someone like Pharazôn, a political, very conniving, very, uh,
Textbook knowledge.
yeah, aristocrat though too. Like it just doesn't quite work on the same level.
Mhm.
Um, where like Elendil is used to people obeying his commands, and Pharazôn's used to like I will connive people to obey my commands. Like it just there's no chance of them ever getting along.
Yeah.
um, and then I literally have right here, sounds like the king and queen are just dying for some grandkids.
I just wanna see my grandkids before I go.
But to this one day you must take a wife line, Aldarion says, one day, but not before I must, and later if any try to thrust me towards marriage. Other things I have to do more urgent to me, for my mind is bent on them. Cold is the life of a mariner's wife, and the mariner who is single of purpose and not tied to the shore goes further and learns better how to deal with the sea.
Mm.
He's like, I gotta focus on my seafaring skills, Dad. I don't got time for that women and marriage crap.
Them there woman folk.
And they're women folk. Um, but this is actually bringing up a very good point. Because Menaldor, he's like, "Oh, you think that you have learned how to deal with the sea, sir?" Says, quote, "Do you forget that the Edain dwell here under the grace of the lords of the West?" That is the Valar. "That Unen is kind to us and Ose is restrained? Our ships are guarded and other hands guide them than ours. So be not over proud, or the grace may wane. I do not presume that it will extend to those who risk themselves without need upon the rocks of strange shorts and strange. Oh my gosh, that is not. It's not strange shorts. That's not. That cannot be right. Shores, shores. Darn autocorrect. Or in the lands of men of darkness. So
Oh.
I mean, the Númenóreans have been blessed with some good, seafaring abilities. But they've had some training wheels on. Like they're not they haven't been tossed in the deep end. Like they've been on
Okay.
the beginner level. So being told that Aldarion, like they've been taking it easy on you. You've had a relatively easy life on the sea, sir. Aldarion's reply just baffles me. He says, quote, "To what purpose then is the gracing of our ships, if they are to sail to no shores and may seek nothing not seen before?" It's like, then why do we have it so easy if we're not, like, why are we able to use these ships if we're not meant to use them, use them?
They're not for show.
Yeah. But also like maybe just for fun, Aldarion. Like maybe the Valor just wanted to give you guys a hobby or a brief
Lunch
journey for
cruises.
trade. Yes. Or to fish or something, not to like give up years of your life in discovering places that you were not gifted with. They're like, no, like it's awfully ungrateful of Aldarion to be like,
Mhm. Mhm.
actually, nah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mhm. So Aldarion gives up the argument and leaves to spend time on his houseboat, Iembar. And with his venturers, they are going to build the biggest ship he had made yet, the Palaran, the Far Wanderer. Which, if that's not the biggest, like sticking it to his dad I can think of, it's 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 pretty much that.
Aw.
Oh, you want me to stay close, Dad? I'm gonna go even farther.
So long, Dad. That's what it says on the side of the ship.
Pretty much, yeah. So,
Oh,
basically where I'm gonna leave you today.
oh man. I thought they were doing better. I thought
I
he was
know.
making better choices.
Nope. Stubborn
Oh, what's up with all
Aldarion.
these teenage kids? These young 20 somethings or
100-year-olds.
yeah. Act your age, man.
I know. I know. So,
Ugh.
yeah. I'm just, like, I'm irritated with him this whole section, just so you know. I don't think it doesn't get better.
No. She's got opinions, y'all. She's
I
got opinions.
Well, thank you for joining us on this journey through Middle Earth. Please don't forget to follow us at the Sisters of the Shire podcast on Instagram. Big thank you to our patrons, Dan, Tom, Kevin, Victoria, and Avery. We really, really appreciate your support. It really helps us out. Podcasting, unfortunately, is not free. So we appreciate you guys helping towards those costs. If you'd like to support our podcast and help us out and become a part of the fellowship, you can check us out on patreon.com/Sisters of the Shire podcast. There's various tiers. $3 a month gets you in as a elf friend of the Shire, 7 as a dwarf friend of the Shire, and 9 gets you in as one of our women friends of the Shire.
Mm.
If you can't help us out monetarily, we understand. I don't know why I said understand so funny.
I understand.
Understand. Please consider leaving us a rating or review or adding us on Instagram or sharing us with someone. Really helps spread the word. And you know what? It doesn't not hurt our feelings. It makes us feel actually a little bit better too. So,
Yes. It's
which,
true.
we appreciate. As far as world news goes, Ireland overtook Israel. They've been duking it out for quite some time, so I'm not sure what's going on with Dan lately, but
Dan.
Ireland, yeah, Ireland's up there.
Mm.
Uh, then Greece overtook Lebanon, and then the Republic of Lithuania and Bangladesh must have gone through some kind of listening binge because they went up like 10 um,
Whoa.
on the rankings. So keep it up, you guys.
Where's Wakanda stand?
Wakanda's still dead last, yeah.
Oh,
Someone needs to
darn
reach out to,
Wakanda.
Shuri. I feel like Shuri would love Tolkien, right?
Yes, she would. It's true.
I got
Well, thank you for teaching me today.
You're welcome. Until next time, I've been Ashley.
And I've been Abby, and this has been the Sisters of the Shire podcast. And we're so glad you joined us today, and we hope you can join us next time. Bye.
Bye!
Thank you for teaching me a day.